Hello everyone, I'm PrussianPrince with another Kaiserreich Let's Play. This time around, we're gonna be playing as Fengtian Government. Also, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell icon. It really helps a lot. So anyway, let's get in right now because we have a game to play, Fengtian Government. Let's get rolling. There's gonna be a lot to read, but first things first. I mean, I actually have no idea what kind of different ways you can go with this. I've read this before in every other Let's Play, so not gonna do it this time. But okay, so we're gonna select the focus. There's only one focus we can select right now, and it's going to be preservation of the Xinhai Revolution. So let's take a look at it. Ironically, Fengtian is the sole national government upholding the order established by the Xinhai Revolution in 1911, which called for the overthrow of the Qing and the establishment of a republic. Although its republican commitments are questionable and southern reclamation is currently unrealistic, the government has loudly advocated both goals as they foster domestic legitimacy. Okay, cool. That is cool indeed, but let's go ahead and go for the superior firepower, because that's what we do. We're also gonna go for this, and what do we want here? Oh, before I forget, right? We should go for the new infantry equipment here. So I'm also gonna add everyone to one of these. I have one field marshal. What's he got? Logistics. He has one more trait. I kind of want offensive. Also, he has a substance abuser. Oh, he's gonna level up. The good thing is he's the logistics wizard. Now, is everything here alright? I don't want the militia. Delete the militia. However, I don't want that much on artillery. I'm going to put one on this. Going to increase this. And that should be okay. Actually, no. Going to do this. I'm not going to put anything on support equipment. We're going to add support equipment later on. Because right now, you can see that our production efficiency, you can actually put more on infantry equipment without it costing us. So I think that's a really good decision. We have some fighters, basically some planes here and stuff. These are tactical bombers. We're going to put them up potentially over North China Plain or Southern Manchuria, depending. So Silver Knight says in chat, and by the way, for those of you on YouTube, this is a stream from Twitch, so I am uploading this from Twitch to YouTube. So like, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, it's Twitch chat. So Twitch chat, we have Silver Knight saying, if I recall correctly, you can have 5 slots, but a 5th is very late in the focus tree. Well, we'll check it out. If I can have 5 slots, that is going to be amazing. That is definitely going to be amazing. Anyway, let's take a look at what we can do here. So I can start building something. I'm going to build civilians. Why not start with civilians? I don't want any armored divisions. The good thing is I apparently can edit these, so it's good. I don't want any cav whatsoever. I'm gonna be using Bubing Shi. What's the difference between the Bubing Shis? Oh, Bubing Shi 1 is... We want to use Bubing Shi 2. Definitely Bubing Shi 2. We're gonna call this Inf 2. So this is our proper name. I'm gonna switch everything to Bubing Shi. No, Inf 20. I don't want this. This is terrible. I'm just gonna rename this to Cav 10. I'm gonna add that, and that should be good. So as you all know, I like typing 3-letter denominator for the type of template it is, followed up by the actual width of the template, so desired width anyway. So currently it's 18 width on the infantry, we're gonna go to 20 width. And here on the Cav 10, currently it's 12, we're gonna go to 10 if we actually need Cav for garrisoning, which might not be the case. We probably won't even need it actually, but what we do need is the infantry. Actually, I'm going to rearrange it a little bit. So I can add another one here. There you go. And then we can add one here. And this is how I want it to be. Now, there's probably a hell of a lot of stuff we can do here. We can recruit. I mean, let's take a look at decisions first and foremost. I'm only going to show regional news. Then, the Grand Marshal's favor. The Fengtian Government consists of several corrupt and squabbling factions, united only by their shared desire to reclaim all of China. A healthy balance between them is crucial to the government's stability. So based on this, we need to have, you know, reasonable amount of influence for each of these. So after we favor one of them, they gain more influence. So basically, from my takeaway from this is that you want to buff the influence of the weakest link here. So probably we want to buff Concordia Association, at least at first glance. And that's probably going to take away most of the influence from Recover League, because that's 40% influence. At least from what I understand right now. Might be wrong here, but you know. Now, next one here is Japanese interest in Manchuria. That does not sound good. And actually, I need to drink some water. Japan has possessed a steadily growing presence in Manchuria ever since the Russo-Japanese War. Today it monopolizes a great deal of Manchuria's heavy industry and railway system, epitomized by the South Manchuria Railway Company, otherwise known as Mantetsu. Some call the Japanese allies, others call them enemies, but most consider them more allies of convenience. Whatever the case, they are here and must be dealt with in every sense that the word implies. If we do this, what does this do? Okay. Expel Japanese officers. It costs us 10 political power, but what does it do? Japan's influence over our military is unacceptable. We must expel their officers from our ranks. The cost of making such a move without sufficient replacements could be great, not to mention the diplomatic backlash. But we must make this move carefully. So completing this decision will have dire consequences for Fengtian's relationship with Japan. I can't really speak today. I don't know why. But yes, we have a bunch of free dockyards, which I totally forgot about. I don't want to build a cruiser. Let's build convoys. I'm not really a navy guy, so yeah, okay. I'm going to do this. Do we have an actual proper commander here? Politically connected. Ideally not, because that actually affects how fast they gain XP. How is everyone politically connected? Oh. You know what? This guy is pretty cool. Oh, he's reckless. It's not good. That is not good. This is pretty interesting. 3-3-1-2. Zhang Shi is pretty good, actually. Or this guy. There's a lot of decent guys, actually. As long as they're not politically connected. Very good. Su Bing Wen. No. Zhang Shi. Wang something. Zhang Shi. Well, he has 3 attack, 3 defense, so it's already in pretty good shape. I think we're gonna try and farm him, I'd say. Also, what's with the music? Oh, it's all good. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Speed 4, get the troops in there. The Bastion in the north. As the year 1936 dawns, Fengtian stands in the northeast as the final bastion of China's Republican dream. As with many things in China, however, the abstractions of this dream hide complex and often inconvenient truths. The Fengtian Government of the Republic of China, contesting the Qing Empire's claims to legitimacy, maintains democracy only as a thin veneer covering what has always been, and perhaps always will be, an authoritarian state. The assembly in Shenyang is widely regarded to be corrupt, power divided between autocratic generals, unscrupulous railway barons, and pan-Asianist ideologues with questionable motivations. Amid it all stands Grand Marshal Zhang Zuolin. His ambitions great, but limited by the stark realities of Qing strength and Japanese power. now forced to walk a political tightrope between the two and above the machinations of his own divided government. The status quo cannot last forever. Status quo cannot last forever, and if the right moment to strike south is not chosen soon, it may never come at all. Staggering cost of the wars with the south and the severance of economic ties left Fengtian reeling, and while past years have been spent rebuilding, there is much left to do. Likewise, the army has suffered from neglect and must be reorganized. The Japanese, their influence growing by the day, present both a dire threat and an opportunity. Waters ahead are treacherous, and it will take a truly great helmsman to steer the ship of state not only to survival, but also towards the reclamation of all China. Briefings are available on Fengtian's special mechanics, its relationship with the Japanese, and internal politics. First things first, brief me on the special mechanics. Okay, let's have a look-see. Oh, there's a lot of reading. Fengtian Government is unstable, pressured from without and within, ultimately a fusion of elements that would be contradictory were it not for their shared goals. The parties, more accurately termed factions, exercise their grip through dominance of the country's institutions instead of mass appeal. As such, the popularity of parties should be taken to represent their degree of control over the country's government and other structures of power, control being determined not by the popular policies of ministers, but by choices, focuses, and events that increase or diminish their power. Fair enough. Consequently, your aim should be to balance the various factions, each of which has the potential to abuse their power if given too much of it, though each will do so differently. As they grow in strength, the factions will nominate ministers, each of whom will pursue his own agenda, potentially in line with his faction or his country, but which could also have negative consequences in the short or long term. Another crucial point is the role of the Concordia Association, also explained in the politics briefing, the strength of which can be taken as a loose indicator of Japanese influence over the country. As their influence grows, it will lead to increasing bonuses to production, but at the cost of political power and autonomy. The rise of this influence is inevitable over time and should be viewed with caution. Brief me on the Japanese. Alright. So much more reading. The Japanese exercise their power in Fengtian through a series of treaties permitting them not only extraterritoriality, but also the right to live and work in Fengtian, more or less as if they were its citizens. While the Grand Marshal and others utilize a wide variety of means to slow and inconvenience the Japanese, presence is necessary and the growth of their influence inevitable. Primary institution responsible for this growth is the South Manchuria Railway Company, more commonly termed Mantetsu, the profits from which in recent years have accounted for nearly a quarter of Japan's entire national budget. At the same time, the Japanese need Fengtian and what it represents. Its cooperation and the prospect of a victory in the south offered to save Japan a great deal of time and money. The result is a tenuous balance. The Japanese ever looking for more profit and power, but well aware that pushing too hard will place Zhang Zuoling in a politically untenable position and thus bring their careful efforts to naught. So far, Zhang has pursued a patchwork policy, promotion of Pan-Asian brotherhood with Japan, only to intermittently replace this with repudiations of Japanese initiatives that push too far, and consistent private efforts to lessen Japanese influence. How to proceed will be your choice, but caution is advised. Yes, brief me on politics. Ooh boy. Fengtian has 4 primary political factions. First one, the Recovery League. A loose association of fallen generals, governors, bureaucrats, and politicians without any ideological affiliation, most of whom find themselves in Fengtian because there are few other places where they might hold any semblance of power. Easily bribed and tempted, they often serve to promote the interests of whoever is willing to pay, and consequently, the League is highly splintered despite controlling a large portion of the assembly. lacking the political will to act defensively. 2. The Zhang clique. A collection of loyalists and generals. The Zhang clique holds no specific ideology beyond promoting the furtherance of the Grand Marshal's political powers. While making pretenses to democracy, Zhang supporters are not committed to Republican ideals and promote them only for their utility. The Communications clique. Sole politically coherent faction to emerge from the former Beiyang government, the Communications clique are a collection of railroad and telegraph barons, primarily self-interested, but locked in confrontation with Mantetsu and the Concordia Association over the country's infrastructure. And 4. The Concordia Association. A grouping of politicians and lobbyists with all the trappings of a party. The Concordia Association represents the interests of Mantetsu, and sometimes other Japanese zaibatsu in the assembly. Their actual ideological positions vary, some using the Japanese to counter Zhang's power for their own gain, with others subscribing to Pan-Asian principles. Onward! Begin the game. Okay. We're finally in there. That took a while, didn't it? But there we go. We're gonna build civs. And there's a lot of Japanese in here, because we have non-aggression pacts, they have military access, and they, you know, they do a lot of good stuff. I don't care about that stuff, but anyway, we have something here. Delegation cities, officially known as the International Mandate for the Chinese concessions, were formed in 1928 after the Jadewood incident, when a European passenger train was attacked by Kuomintang bandits. While mostly designed to halt the Zili Fengtian conflict that was destabilizing the Far East, the Americans also intended it to serve as a tool of their open door policy, allowing access to Chinese markets to all Western nations and Japan. Pursuant to these imperialist aims, the rightful Chinese government has been cut out of all decision-making processes on the Legation Council, despite nominally leasing their territory from us. We have observer status on the council and are able to get a view into the decisions being taken in their meetings, but beyond that, our interactions with the body are limited at the government level. We deserve a voice in Shanghai. We definitely do. I mean, we're the Fengtian Government. Look at how big we are. Of course, we have some mills, some civs. We actually have more civs than them, but not as many mills. But League of Eight Provinces had a lot of civs, but for how long? That's the real question. That is definitely the real question. We have some laws here. Guangfu here. Ooh, okay. Record Mantetsu profits. Seems like a good event, so let's read it. The South Manchuria Railway Company, colloquially Mantetsu, has long dominated large sectors of Fengtian's economy, and in turn, acts as Japan's primary means of influence over our government. While this influence is unwelcome, it brings crucial capital and technology without which the Grand Marshal could never hope to retake China. The company has today announced record profits, much of which goes to Japan's government in the form of tax revenue. Okay, Concordia gains. Not bad. Yes, this is a necessary evil. Yay, Recovery League is worse now, so pretty good, pretty good. Preservation of the Qinghai Revolution. Fengtian is the sole standing government upholding the order established by the Qinghai Revolution in 1911, which called for the overthrow of the Qing and the establishment of a republic. Although some say that our republican commitments are questionable, and full-scale war against the Qing Empire is currently unrealistic, the government loudly advocates both goals, as they foster legitimacy in the eyes of all Chinese. Defend the revolutionary values. Do it, definitely. Trust in our people. Gotta trust the people to do what they need, what needs to be done. Oh boy, there's a lot here. So, the road to reclamation. The end of the last Xifeng War in 1928 saw the exile of China's once thriving republican movement to the northeast. Ever since, forces have faced off against Qing troops at Shanghai Guan, while Germany and Japan have waged a silent war of espionage across the coastal cities. One day soon, China will be reclaimed and reunited. So, promote national irredentism. Despite our successful efforts to suppress the northeastern regionalist movement, a certain amount of apathy remains amongst the general population. But to drum up the full support necessary for national reclamation, we must begin a wide-reaching propaganda campaign. Ooh, okay. Denounced Qing monarchism. The regressive Qing Empire claims to draw strength from its past, but in truth, this only makes it weaker. We'll bury their old ideas beneath the inexorable weight of the modernity. Yes, we are modern. Thanks to China, though, I guess. So, yeah, okay, we're gonna read the last one. Denounce German imperialism. Germany is just the latest of the Western powers to torture and humiliate China. We will be a proud country again, but only once the Kaiser and his traitorous lackeys are thrown into the sea. Really? Those are our aspirations. Okay. Heinous assassination in Shenyang. On his way to government offices, a member of the communications clique was gunned down in public by what appears to be a Qing loyalist, recruited from among the northeast's Manchu population. Qing Empire has been known to recruit spies and assassins before, but some rumors suggest that this assassin was instead hired by members of the Concordia Association, locked in conflict with the communications clique's railway and telegraph barons for control of the country's infrastructure. Okay. Terrible loss. Oh my goodness. This is a terrible loss indeed. We just got such a debuff from that. It's insane. It's really not very good for us. It's just not good, guys. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. But anyway. An opportunity arises, so in the years since the Fengtian army's retreat beyond the Great Wall, a watchful eye has been kept on the south. The natural choke point created by the Shanghai Pass has always made it hard for Zhili armies to get in, but equally difficult for our own to get out. Any effort to reclaim China has always depended upon a moment of southern weakness. Such a moment now seems set to arrive. A simmering anti-German sentiment has erupted into violence in the League of Eight Provinces, and the governor of Anhui has broken away from Nanjing, hoping to leverage the League and the central government against one another for his own gain. Unfortunately, we're not yet ready to begin our long-awaited campaign. There are outstanding issues in the northeast to be settled, and it is still not clear exactly what will become of the situation in the League. We must watch and wait for the right opportunity. Let us choose wisely indeed, son, says people. Alrighty then. Yes, who needs political power? It's a good question. Rumors incite regionalist uproar. Although no plans have been made public or even exist in anything approaching a final form, rumors have already begun to spread that the Fengtian army is preparing to march south and conquer Beijing within the next month. That'll be good if we could do that in the next month. I mean, I'm totally up for it. Scattered news coming in from the south has inspired a potent mix of excitement and concern. And confrontations have already broken out in tea rooms, bars, and other public places between ardent nationalists and regionalist Dongbei Party members. The Dongbei Party is not a political party in any real sense, and more a nickname applied by detractors to any espousing doubts about Zhang Zhuoling's mission to reunite the country. A significant number of local officials and bureaucrats, including school teachers, share this kind of skepticism and have begun organizing protests criticizing what they view as a costly and unnecessary war. Naturally, the government will not refute the rumors, as that might free up Beijing's hand to intervene in the League crisis. Rumors can be dangerous. Minus 20 PP. Oof. Minus 5% stability. Minus 5% war support. Very bad. But, you know, we're already used to very bad at the start of the game. Lose more political power. Lose more stability. Lose more war support. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. We don't care about part of that, so yeah. Next one. What can we do here? Ooh. We already have two options. So this one, let's read to them first. Suppress regionalist sentiment. For many years, Zhang Zhuolin's primary political slogan was "The Northeast for the Northeast," but when his ambitions turned toward Beijing, this regionalist message had to be set aside. Ever since, it has proven a thorn in the Grand Marshal's side, and many still espouse these old sentiments. The time has come to put the matter to rest, once and for all. Fuguo Champing, translating roughly to enrich the country, strengthen the army. This proverb dates back to ancient legalist philosophers, but has been used more recently to inspire reforms in both Guangxu-era China and Meiji-era Japan. Now it is applied again in Fengtian, as the government seeks to modernize and eventually strike south against the resurgent Izidi clique, and from there establish control all over China. Which side should we go for? I mean... Open the propaganda for... Ooh. This is the way to go. Okay, because this opens up path to war with Qing Empire. Okay. Black Monday. Yeah, we don't care about it. And yes, nobody needs stability. We're at 16%. Who cares? Unscrupulous government. Regionalists, resentment. Who cares? Ruling party popularity 0%. Obviously, everything is awesome here. Everything is awesome. Just great. Well, at least we have some infantry equipment in the stockpile, but apparently no artillery, really. It's a little bit surprising here, actually. I kind of want to train these, because I want 5 army XP so I can turn this into a 20 with. That's why I want 5 army XP here. But this is going to drop a lot of artillery, but that's fine. Regionalists take action. Shouting, Dongbei Welle Dongbei Ren? Okay. Or the Northeast for Northeastern people. Protesters have gathered near the Grand Marshal's Palace in Harbin's Sophia Square, outside Jilin's Medical College, demanding an end to war preparations. The numbers are not great enough to present serious problems, and police have already been dispatched to maintain order. But this is only part of an ongoing campaign which threatens to undermine public confidence in the regime. The whole of the Northeast cannot be united behind the Grand Marshal's dream to unite all China, then how can it ever be realized? Unfortunate. Of course we lose more political power. Who needs political power? Again. Nobody needs political power. Okay, so this is the army reform. Read it too many times. The illusion of Qing hegemony shatters. The facade of Chinese unity, having held together for nearly a decade, has begun to crumble. Rising unrest in the League of Eight Provinces, the economic shock of Black Monday, portending German entrenchment, and the inability of the national government to deliver a decisive response to either has made one thing clear. Beijing's monopoly on power is broken. An opportunity to strike south has never presented itself so clearly, but is the Northeast ready? It's a really good question, man, you know? It's a really good question. We're gonna gain more Recovery League. The Recovery League... yeah, it's gonna get more, but that's fine. Okay, I really need to get these guys trained properly, but really I need the XP to get the next thing there. That's what we really need there over basically everything else. So, yeah. We'll see how we do that, but right now, we will see. Fuguo Changbing is still happening. Hot-headed allies. Chen Xiaoyun of the Anqing clique, our nearly committed ally, as well as Zhang Zhongchang, who has long had good relations with us and fought on our side a long time ago, do not have a good relationship. What makes matter worse is that Chen sees his Anqing clique as the rightful ruler of all of the primary 5 provinces that made up the league. Zhang seeks to enter the conflict as well, but most likely not be satisfied if he is left with nothing, which is bound to happen if Chen insists on controlling all of the 5 provinces, We'll have to begin thinking of a solution, because we most definitely do not want war between our allies. Yes, stop being so hot-headed, allies. I mean, or actually be hot-headed, because you guys need to be at war with each other. After you're at war with each other, we're gonna kill you, because, you know, you've used up stuff. You know, you're war-weary, so yeah. Enrich the country, strengthen the army. So, after decades of decline and destitution, the necessity of progress and development has never been more glaring. However, while we cannot afford to stagnate, change comes with its own risks, namely mismanagement and public discontent. The task falls to the government to answer calls to enrich the country and strengthen the army, but we must prioritize one or the other. Must enrich the country. Bonus political power to economic focuses. Strengthen the army adds bonus political power to army focuses. Tell me more about the state of the economy. Tell me more about the state of the army. Yes, tell me more about the state of the economy. Enrich the country. While Manchuria's resources are rich and diverse, and Fengtian stands as the third greatest industrial center in East Asia, its economy remains plagued by a number of structural problems, the symptoms of which cripple the state and still progress toward southern reclamation. Fengtian's biggest investor is the state itself, feeding tax revenues back into key sectors such as steel, coal, and soybean production. Yet, the Japanese and Mantetsu trail the government only marginally in this regard, and invest far more widely, giving them an unquestioned grip upon both Fengtian's economy and society. While the extent of this grip grows by the day, reform could serve to increase the government's revenues through the suppression of otherwise endemic corruption, the creation of a healthier environment for private investment, and the unfortunate but necessary cooperation with Mantetsu in key areas like infrastructure and technology. So long as the government can maintain political autonomy, and at least the majority of control over the economy, it can pursue initiatives to contest Japanese influence, retain legitimacy in the eyes of the Chinese people, and eventually achieve its core goals. It should be noted that while Japan has a vested interest in seeing us succeed relative to the Qing Empire, they will only provide assistance with specific efforts aiming to move past our backward industry, even as they attempt to widen their already warring influence over our economy. No. Let's know about the army. The Fengtian Army, officially the Army of the Republic, is an impressive sight by most Chinese standards, though pales in comparison to most foreign forces, and has only recently recovered much of its strength after its decimation in the last Xifeng War. The majority of Fengtian's weapons and vehicles are outdated, even including its standard issue rifle provided by the Japanese. Organization below the division level is a patchy affair due to limited communications equipment. The army's greatest deficiency is in morale, partially as a consequence of foreign trained and even outright Japanese officers widespread throughout the ranks. Meanwhile, the Fengtian Flying Corps, officially the China Flying Corps, is the pride and joy of the Grand Marshal's oldest son, Zhang Zuiliang, who used his passion for aviation to train its first pilots. The Flying Corps performed well during the war and lost air superiority over the Zili only upon the arrival of modern German-piloted planes. Since then, the Corps has grown silently, though its planes remain over a decade behind the European standard. Overall, Fengtian's forces lag behind those of the Qing Empire and remain heavily dependent upon Japanese equipment and aid. This aid, and whatever Fengtian can do to become self-sufficient, will be crucial to narrowing that gap and eventually reclaiming the south. I'm not sure. Army focuses. Yes, strengthen the army. What does this do? Doesn't do anything. Huh? Okay, I guess maybe it doesn't show. Is these army oh no, army focuses. Right, army focuses. Ooh. Is this the plus 100 political power? Is this it? Maybe. Alrighty then. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. What? We can develop the 9. Nah, suppress regional sentiment. We already read the event. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we have 1 army XP. We really need 5 because we need to change this template. We really need 5 here. Absolutely need 5. Okay. I'm going to keep it on speed 4 because, you know, things are going a little bit crazy in the League of 8 provinces right now, and we don't want to mess with that. We don't want to mess with that at all. Yes, restoration of democracy. Cool for you. Cool for you. Just keep that going and just ignore me. It's pretty busy, so yeah, okay. I have something here. We have a dude. Fair enough. Okay, let's read this. Concordia Association nominates a new economic minister. Thanks to their growing influence in government, the Concordia Association has nominated Yu Zishan for the position of economic minister. An army officer through and through, Yu takes a pragmatic approach to Fengtian's position vis-a-vis Japan, seeing it as the only way for Fengtian to defeat the South, and for China as a whole to retain its identity in the face of Western domination. With a great deal of experience managing supply lines and weapons production during the war, Yu is likely to pursue policy emphasizing military industrialization, closely aligning his position with the interests of the Kwantung army. So if we get this guy, okay, this, it's a debuff. Concordia, something. Sure. Point him, what does it give us? Resource, instruction speed. Oof. Well, whatever, appoint you. Appoint him, why not? Why the hell not, right? Okay, we really need to do this. An offer from the Kempeitai. Kempeitai, the Japanese Army's extrajudicial police force, have taken note of our regionalist problem and come forward with a partial solution. With a wide network of informants, they claim to have information on a number of figures underpinning the regionalist movement. Information they have volunteered. In response, we must provide intelligence on several anti-Japanese agitators and insurgents who have so far slipped through their fingers, none the least due to our own interference. So far it has been convenient for us to keep in contact with these nationalists. Pending cases where we need to push back against Japanese influence. This is one of those cases. Or should we take the deal and offer these people up on a silver platter? Take the deal. Oof, silence targeted subversives. Then what is this? Justify master. Beverly loses some, but we gain more stability and we gain more power. Sure. Take the deal. Concordia gains more. That's okay. Concordia's alright. Take the deal. Done it. Now decisions available. Wait a second. Oh. Can take something. Expel Japanese officers. No. No, absolutely not. We don't want to do that. We never want to do that. So yes, don't. Mantetsu influence. Dentsu's economic influence spreads across the country and through the assembly. The government is, for now, committed to privately resist it. Efforts seem to grow weaker by the day. Well, it's kind of getting balanced now, you know, like the good thing is Recovery League is not that massive. Yes, First International Congress. Expel the Japanese officers, but I'm not gonna make it notify us. It's good. I'm gonna go for the computing. Why not? Get extra research speed. Very good. Okay, we're about to have this, which is gonna be huge, and then we're gonna go for the industry. Actually, maybe we should have already done the industry, but I don't care. It's not optimal, but who cares? No, definitely I'm gonna want to recruit more here, but almost at 5, and that is really good. That is really good here. We really need 5 army XP here. Gonna help a lot. Now, you guys here, you're making troops, but okay, the Gang of Three. As a loose coalition of fallen generals, governors, bureaucrats, and politicians exiled from the south by the collapse of the Fengtian Government, the Recovery League is widely acknowledged to be susceptible to corruption. However, recent discoveries by police have turned up something unusually troubling. It seems that a group of Recovery League politicians who were made mayors of townships in Jilin thanks to their experience with governing in the south had in fact never been mayors anywhere or at all. Instead, they had killed and replaced their namesakes and, through a complicated plot of deceit, fooled the authorities while eliminating any who might contradict them. The web of lies, corruption, and murder necessary to sustain this falsehood stretches across the whole of the province. Damage dealt to the government's legitimacy is not inconsiderable. Minus 40 political power. Minus 10% stability. Minus 5% war support. This is literally gonna give us negative war support. We're gonna have 9% stability. And we're almost gonna be in negative political power. Disgusting indeed. I have no other way to say that. Yes, nobody needs political power. Nobody needs stability. Nobody needs war support. This is something you don't get in Kaiserreich. Nobody needs that. Just take it all away. Just delete it. You're fine. We don't need it. So welcome, Milby. Welcome to the chat and to the stream. Just none of that. None of that here. None of that political power. Okay, so we have suppressed those guys. At least we click the focus. It actually does it. But, okay, do we still have... Yeah, we have regionalist resentment. And we need to get rid of it if we want to open that. So what we're gonna do here. Justify mass arrests. So long as the regionalist movement remains peaceful. Wait, did we read this? Yeah, we did read this. Yes. So long as the regionalist movement remains peaceful, we lack the institutional and public support to crush it decisively. By dispatching agents disguised as protesters, we can push the movement toward violent means, cost them their public support, and then justify mass arrests. Yes, justify them all. Okay, so 4 slots. Okay, sure, we're gonna have 4 research slots. Seems fine to me. 4 is enough. Montetsu bribes. Pair of Concordia Association members were recently caught attempting to bribe Recovery League politicians. While this activity has long been suspected, this is the first time it had been caught in the open. Although members of other parties have motioned to remove the offending members, the Japanese consulate has already delivered a message strongly advising that no action be taken against the members of the Concordia Association. The Grand Marshal could choose to do so regardless, but not without risking Japanese wrath. Ooh. This gives us political power, but it also gives us base war support. But it takes away so much stability. It debuffs the Concordia, which is not the end of the world, it's actually okay. And the other one, we can do nothing. We lose 50... Well, yes, I don't want to lose base stability. That's what I don't want to lose. Yeah, we can do nothing. Negative political power. Of course it has to be negative. Okay, we're almost at 5, so we're almost able to change this into a 20 with now. The real question is, how can we even beat these guys? Yeah, we can. I'm sure we can, even with 15 troops. In fact, we're gonna have more. Second Russian Civil War. Don't care about you Russians. Leave us alone. We're gonna build civs. Again, don't care. I really want to fight... Ooh, failed coup in Beijing. Details are unclear, but following a presumed coup attempt in the Forbidden City this morning, Marshal Wu Peifu emerged, arm in a sling, but otherwise standing tall. Walking down the stairs, he stopped for a few words with reporters who had rushed to the scene as Puyi, bound and guarded by a group of soldiers, shuffled out. Cao Kun, the democratically elected leader of China, and I were savagely attacked by the Emperor's thugs, no doubt supported by the Kaiser. He began, staring directly into the camera bulbs flashing in his face. It is clear they wished to undo the progress we have made, and after the betrayal today, the Assembly has declared them traitors. China will be a republic once more, free from foreign domination. I mean, okay. There he is, Wu Pei Fu. Guy himself. Okay, we have 5 army XP. I can stop training here. And we can make this into a 20 with. How much infantry equipment is that gonna require? Literally just the amount that we have. So this is excellent. This is exactly what we needed here. Famine breaks out in Sichuan. The province of Sichuan has long struggled with famine. Rocket rain and unpredictable weather kept populations low until the early Qing era, when widespread land clearances and immigration incentives brought hordes of peasants to the province. In 1925, a lengthy drought turned into a devastating famine that ravaged the province, leading to hundreds of thousands of deaths and millions of refugees. Now, with chaos in the league disrupting food shipments and another lengthy drought, the specter of famine haunts Sichuan once more. Already horrifying stories are emerging of mothers selling their children into slavery for scraps of bread and anarchy, gripping even the richest market towns. Mothers selling for bread, okay, you know. You get to live, and you know your offspring dies. Well, actually, not necessarily. If you sell them into slavery, maybe they don't die. They're just slaves. So maybe they live, and maybe you live. Good, in a really screwed up way. That could actually be a win-win situation. You know, because both of them live. Even though one of them is a slave, which isn't good, but hey. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive sometimes in those eras, right? It sucks, but you know. Yes. Who needs freedom, you know? I mean, better be alive than dead, you know? Okay, so we almost have the infantry equipment here, the Daishuai Type 24. Wow. Nice. There's even a description of the gun. Not gonna read it, but you know. Whoever wants to can rewind to that point. Ooh. Well, as you can see, League of 8 Provinces has been eaten. It no longer exists. So now this is all China here. Well, alrighty then. See where we go next. We are definitely gonna want to finish the armor reform, so that's gonna help. Now the next thing here is we instantly switch to. We do not instantly switch. Well, actually we do instantly switch. We go for the new infantry equipment. We need to build that. We need to upgrade our people. Shandong Anqing War Conference. Qi Seiyuan is a league which saw itself as the successor to Sun Chuan Fang's League of 8 Provinces, has been fallen apart as it was assaulted on 3 sides. 2 of these, the Anqing clique and the Shandong clique, are our allies. Zhang Zonchang's Shandong clique has seized some of the league's north in the province of Jiangsu, Suhai, Huaiyang, Nantong. Unacceptable to Chen, who sees himself as the league's successor and thus the province's rightful owner, must prevent war between them at all costs, as this could lead to their collapse, leaving the Kuomintang to take control of the 5 provinces instead. Will we mediate between them? Yes, reach out. Let's try mediating and see what happens there. Yes, freedom is like stability and PP. Yes, you don't need it. Okay. Anqing demands Zhang Song, Chang, and claim. Chen Tiao Yuan has arrived in Shenyang to settle his territorial dispute with Zhang Zonchang. Though neither have made threats to our knowledge, certainly Zhang and Chen are capable of drawing first blood if Zhang Zolin cannot resolve the border. Long hours of negotiation with Chen Tiao Yuan reveals his conclusion that Zhang Zongchang and Shandong are now liabilities. With the amount of resources poured into Shandong, Chen suggests that Zhang Zongchang be allowed to keep his gains in Jiangsu. The rest of Anqing be proclaimed. Zhang may have Jiangsu, the rest they want. Noted. Shandong demands Chen Tiao Yuan and claim. And now the other guy, of course. Zhang Zonchang has arrived in Shenyang to settle his territorial dispute with Chen. Okay. Okay, so it is apparent from the talk that Zhang Zongchang believes the turn commanders in Anqing are too dangerous to ever work for the greater good of China. Zhang Zongchang insists to us that he should keep only his marginal gains in Jiangsu. So we are noting everything down, and yes. Then we get to make the decisions. Making a proposal. Zhang Zuolin has taken in the two prevailing ideas of Chen Tiaoyan and Zhang Zongchang into care. The fears of Zhang and Chen's rivalry was confirmed in these talks, but a surprising amount of trust was conferred to Zhang Zuolin. One could not properly predict either men's responses, so there's no guarantee Zhang and Chen will agree to Zuolin's decision, although made in confidence. The weight of keeping the alliance alive and the possibility of Japan's judgment weighs heavy. After much deliberation, Zhang Zuolin has decided that, with regards to Shandong, Shandong stays in Shandong, Shandong keeps Jiangsu. Who's stronger here? Shandong keeps Jiangsu, because this guy is like... Yeah, Shandong keeps Jiangsu. This guy is weak, so we need to make sure that they're both like kind of the same strength, right? Oh, he has 1 million manpower, so we'll see what they do after our suggestion. Zhang Zuolin's proposal accepted. Really? Fengtian's proposal has been accepted by both Zhang Zongchang and Chen Tiaoyan. Perhaps this is the beginning of a new era of cooperation under Fengtian that will lead to national unification? Many in the military staff are hopeful, citing this as a triumph not even Wu Beifu could accomplish. Actually, I need to check something really quickly. Because, yes. Okay, it is all good. Peace for now. A deal is made. Justify mass arrests. Definitely do mass arrests then. Please crack down on this, expel them all. No. We cannot open the propaganda fort. I'm going to front. I'm going to wait a while until we do that, right? So rearm the northeast. Well, all this is gonna give us a lot of stuff. So economy is good, but military. Okay, well there's nothing going on here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm definitely... Wait. The Concordia Association nominates a new economic minister. Thanks to their growing influence in the government, the Concordia Association has nominated Run Zhenduo for the position of economic minister. Though trained as a doctor, not an economist, Run's extensive ties to the Japanese in the medical field led to his meteoric rise in politics, and he now acts as the primary go-between for the Japanese Foreign Ministry and the Concordia Association. Whilst lack of experience in economics may be a concern, Ron is known to be diligent, and the Japanese Foreign Ministry's handling of events in Fengtian is notably more cautious than that of Mantetsu or the Kwantung Army. Point Ron, so what does it give us? Okay. And Concordia's 26%, not too high. Well, that's okay with me. Let's build 3 more civs for now. It's pretty good. Let's select the focus. So we could go with Quantum Protocol. Ooh. We gain bonus political power. Japanese instructors. Definitely not this. Structure. No, this is really bad because this is air stuff. Absolutely not the right side. Japanese instructors. Jigyo. Ikaku. Zaibatsu investments. Armor technology double. Ooh. I'm kind of feeling it. Even though this is kind of terrible here. Thing is, if you go down south here, we're gonna get double armor. Even if we get double armor here, what are we gonna get? 1943 heavies? Let's not right now. We go down this side, what do we get? Building slots, stability. all that other stuff. We should have gone economic side maybe. Ooh. Okay, developed 9 provinces. 9 provinces of Manchuria, split from the original 3, already contain over 30% of China's railroads and feature relatively widespread heavy industry. But if Fengtian is to move into the future, these will have to be expanded upon and improved. Ideally, this would be achieved solely by the Chinese people, but reality dictates that the Japanese will lead much of the path forward. We definitely want this one. The research slot. Absolutely give me that research slot. We want 4 research slots. So that's gonna help massively. Agent provocateurs in action. Just as planned, our well-placed agents have successfully pushed some in the regionalist movement toward violence. Already increasing violent protests have caused damage to public property, and reactions have been negative. It will only be a matter of time before we have the justification we need. Ooh. Ooh. This is happening. This is happening. Well, I definitely want to attack this GD clique here, so... It says Qing here, but... Oh, it does say GD clique. It has actually updated. Not bad, not bad. It's a good thing it's updated. Harbin riots. Doesn't sound good. Protests rapidly escalated into an all-out riot last night. Protesters clashed with police in downtown Harbin. There have been 15 recorded deaths, with unknown numbers of wounded on both sides, numbers possibly stretching into the low hundreds. Particular concern is the Harbin Central Station, which saw its front windows shattered and its roof in flame. Damage to the station and several pieces of rolling stock has delayed travel along connecting rail lines. The bureaucrats at Mantetsu have already registered their outrage. Cleaning up this mess may take some time, but at least we now have a clear justification for action against the regionalist movement. Ooh, wait, is it fully clear? It's not actually fully clear. It's not. It's not. Ooh. Okay, this is really cool here once we get it. Mass arrests begin. With the appropriate justification now in place, our dutiful police officers, with support from local militia and the Fengtian army, have begun rounding up suspected protesters. The majority will eventually be sent home, but not necessarily in one piece. Oh, so are you saying that they're gonna lose some limbs or something? Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Or fingers or something. Majority will... Oh no, we already did that. The main hope is that their imprisonment will serve as a message to the other protesters and any sympathizers that the government will no longer tolerate their subversion. Oh, it could even be worse here. They might actually be dead. They will be sent home like actually dead. Right? Like in what this means is they could be literally in pieces. So they could either be dead, right? Which is most likely, I guess. Like body parts, or they could be sent back home but be missing limbs, which I think this is more likely than the first option. But anyway, let's get past this. Good riddance. Ooh, we gain more staff, more war support. We actually gained political power for once. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We actually gained something there. We absolutely definitely need there, so yeah. What even is Minsheng? Is it by chance? Yeah, it is the motorized. Okay, Anqing, go. You have much better industry, coup d'etat in Siam. You should have probably more troops or similar amounts. You definitely have more manpower, so you should be winning. And you're even on volunteer only. Definitely winning here. Send aid to Sichuan. Province of Sichuan still struggles with a massive famine, and now their representatives have come to us, of all people, requesting famine relief. By supporting famine relief efforts in the provinces, we could greatly bolster our legitimacy and convince them that we, not the foul traders in Beijing, are the true rulers of China. We either lose 50 political power, which would be bad. We lose Zhang Clique and Recovery League. That's fine. We cannot spare anything right now. It's okay. I'll go for that. Hello, PressTV.com news. It's been a long time since I've seen you here. Welcome back to the channel. So let's see what we're gonna be doing here, because I think it's gonna be problematic here. But Tianjin is, you know, litigation cities. But anyway, I'm really hoping that they attack me first. The good thing is they have a lot of militia. Their templates are just terrible. Look at this. 3 militia, 1 support artillery. Bleh. Bleh indeed. And then this template also bleh. Not good. Regionalist movement suppressed. The Dongbei Party and the regionalist movement in general has been suppressed at last. This is not an end to regionalist sentiment in the Northeast. It may last for decades to come, but for now it has ceased to be a consideration as we turn our attention southward. We can do this now. We can do this now. We can definitely do that now. And we will absolutely do it when we can, when it's available in like some days. There's no way we'll let up on that. And actually, why aren't we even going to recruit some infantry here? Make like 1 and then let's add it to this. It's gonna be good, right? This general is pretty okay. We also are getting our spear firepower here, which is gonna help massively. Then this is gonna help. Actually, we need to select what this guy has. We could give him offensive. Okay, so these planners. Thorough planner might be okay, but not really feeling it, honestly. However, what I could be giving him is offensive doctrine. That's gonna give stuff, but I'm actually gonna give him charismatic. We need division recovery rate. So press TV.com, like, no. I'm not even gonna answer that because, and you should not talk about that because that could get my channel in trouble, and it's technically illegal. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble, and it's not allowed. So no. Okay. Anyway, we have done that focus, which now means open the propaganda front. And this says, let's see. Sometimes the most decisive battles are fought and won in hearts and minds. We have fought a passive war of words with the Gili clique ever since 1928. Now the time has come to begin a new offensive and redouble our efforts. 10,000 years to the Republic. 10,000 years to the Republic. Yes. Oh my goodness, we gain a lot of stuff here. We gain a lot of stuff here. The Soy Agricultural Initiative. What is this? Fengtian's significant Korean minority are skilled rice planters, but soybeans have become an extremely desirable cash crop, as they provide not only an excellent source of food, fertilizer, and animal feed, but also an oil with industrial applications. Mantetsu undertook an effort to educate Koreans in soy farming, but the response has been mixed. They now want our help to push this through. Okay. Ooh. Okay, big event. Soybeans are an extremely flexible crop, useful for human food, animal feed, fertilizer, and for a wide variety of industrial applications. Mantetsu's research wing has made great strides in making their growing, processing, and use more efficient. Planting percentages across Fengtian remain relatively stagnant. Korean farmers, who make up the majority of immigrants to Manchuria, are excellent rice planters. Like many, Chinese prefer crops they have more experience with. In an attempt to change this, Mantetsu began the Soy Agricultural Initiative, a plan intending to educate farmers and incentivize the production of soy as a cash crop. It has so far been poorly received. Mantetsu hopes to gain the government support in promoting the initiative, which would almost certainly increase soy yields and therefore long-term profits. Few dissenting voices have pointed out that excessive soy production could reduce food security in the Northeast. The right conditions might lead to a famine. We need no more soy. Back the initiative. We gain 2 building slots, 1 civilian factory. Back the initiative. Give me the civ. Excellent. Pervasive Mantetsu influence. Factories rumble with activity, churning out weapons, supplies, and everyday conveniences at an astounding rate. None of this would be possible without Japan, but whispers of discontent abound. What are we fighting for? China or Japan? Is the Republic really being strengthened, or instead brought to its knees by foreign exploitation? It's truly necessary. Hard to say, right? Concordia has definitely got a high level of influence here. We need to decrease that right away. Definitely gotta decrease that. It's not a good idea. The Concordia Association nominates a new economic minister. Thanks to their growing influence in government, the Concordia Association has nominated Yu Shan for the position of economic minister. An army officer through and through, Yu takes a pragmatic approach to Fengtian's position vis-a-vis Japan, seeing it as the only way for Fengtian to defeat the South, and for China as a whole to retain its identity in the face of Western domination. A great deal of experience managing supply lines and... Wait, what? I've already applied this guy. Yes. Reapply him. I read this before. And anyway, that's enough for now, so thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. And I'll see you all next time.